interview in the series Meet the CEOs. But today is not the CEO of a leading home improvement company in the world. It is the CEO of one of the most important trade fairs, particularly in our industry. My name is John Herbert. I'm the General Secretary of EDRA, the European DIY Retail Association, and of GIN, the Global Home Improvement Network. Together, these two associations have now got 218 members, operating in 75 countries with over 33,000 stores, and our members' sales are in excess of 300 billion euro. I would now like to welcome all our EDRA members, wherever you may be, and the members of our partner association, HEMA, the Home Improvement Manufacturers Association, and to all those delegates and sponsors who've already registered for our Global DIY Summit to be held in Copenhagen from the 8th to the 10th of June this year. Before I start my interview, I would just like to say our thoughts are, of course, with the Ukrainian people, and also with our Ukrainian member Epicenter, who of those three of those magnificent stores of those have been totally destroyed. How tragic it is to see the death of so many people, of children, of families, of ladies. Let us only hope that this terrible, terrible war will soon end. But now I am delighted to introduce the interview partner for today. He's a person I've known for many, many years, the CEO of the Messe Essen. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce now Oliver P. Kuhrt. And hello, Mr. Kuhrt. If you unmute.
Yeah, hopefully now it works. Yeah, okay. Hello, good to see you.
Well, we're delighted that you've joined us today. And so I think if you could just start a little bit by telling the people following this interview today a little bit about the Messe Essen.
Yeah, Mr. Herbert, Sir Herbert, this is my favorite naming. Yeah, thank you very much, and greetings to all delegates who have the opportunity to follow our conversation. I'm pleased that we can have this conversation at a time when we are here back in business again. Right now, we have a lot of operational pressure here on our organization. We have now the fourth fair in row since end of March, placed in Essen's Altenpflege. It's the leading trade fair for all types of elderly care. And when I took a look out of my window today, John, it is almost like it did in good old days. It seems like it is all the same, but we all know that we are still in a challenging situation. But first of all, it's my great pleasure and honor to be part of your CEO talk today together with you, the designated Global DIY Lifetime Award winner 2022. And if I may say so, never in the history of this award has there been a better choice than this year in Copenhagen. We all know that you are the ambassador of the DIY industry, and you really deserve this award. So I'm more than happy to be in Copenhagen and to join the ceremony. Yeah, and we are looking forward. We hope that the business will stay that way, and we are happy that we have business back here in Essen and in Germany, the trade fair business.
Yeah, indeed, it's very, very good news. But let us just start with the opening about the situation in Ukraine and Russia. Is this affecting the trade fairs at all? And if so, how?
Yes, the past 2 years have definitely been a very, very tough time for all of us in this industry. We have to face it. We are still not through. We do not know what comes up at the end on this year again. And maybe one of the biggest problems was the lack of planning certainty. This was the biggest challenge, and we had so many quickly changing regulations by the government. This led to an ongoing switch between restart announcements and cancellations. So for the organization, it was really, really, really a tough time, and for the exhibitors for sure as well. But however, I think we managed to keep our motivation high, and the relationship with our clients close. I think this was a key fact, that we try to keep our contact to the exhibitors. And but I think in Essen we were luckily quite good prepared, maybe better than other trade fair companies, because in the years 2016 till 2018, we carried out a major restructuring program. We were streamlining our organization, and we threw inefficient blocks of costs overboard. So we really did not need a high-level financial support from our shareholders. And in combination with our, our new venue, our state-of-the-art trade fair venue, and our congress center, we were able to win 10 new trade fairs for Essen during the pandemic. And I think since it will take some time for the large leading international trade fairs to recover, I think we have to accept that it will take some time to get our Asian friends back to Germany, to Europe again. They're not here right now, and it will take some time to get them back. And today, the special trade fairs in particular are becoming more and more important. I do think that the mid-sized trade fair companies are the winners. Maybe winners is the wrong term for it, but the large-scale trade fair locations will have enormous problems adapting their cost structure to the new situation.
Yeah, I know the trade fairs have really suffered terribly in this pandemic. And did you manage to keep all your people? What happened in these 2 years that we really had it, where there haven't been many trade fairs? Did you lose a lot of people who worked?
Yeah, no, we did not really lose them. I mean, what we did, we were using this Kurzarbeit tool, which was offered by the German government. So we had maybe in the last 2 years, 30%, 40% of them here on the venue, and all the other ones were at home, working at home, or were at home. So right now they are all back. We did not really lose people. We have about 250 people working here for the Messe Essen, and hopefully we can keep them. But right now it looks quite good. Development, the fairs are coming back. And this is all about, to having the right people, the right colleagues here working together with us to make successful trade fairs.
Yeah, well, I'm delighted to hear you've had 4 trade fairs, one after the other, and to share you our experience about our Global DIY Summit. We're expecting about 900 people to come to Copenhagen.
Wow.
But like yourself, Asian, we normally get about 60 people coming from Japan and Asia. This year, there may be only about 20, 25 or 30. But certainly all the people in Europe and all the top companies seem to be coming. I think just people have just had enough of Zoom and Teams and partner. They want to get back physically. So I think this is, we're very optimistic about this.
Yes.
And particularly
it will take some time to get them back. We had, I think, applications from 14 nations for the last IPM. Unfortunately, we had to cancel this show, but it seems that step by step, the international quote is growing again.
Indeed. Let us come back to these 2 really very strong trade fairs that you do for our industry. First of all, the IPM, I think, is brilliant. To me, it's one of the best trade fairs I go to. And I only say that because, when you go there, you've had October, November, December, and then you go in January, and then suddenly you walk into the Essen rooms and you see this blaze of color of flowers, the smell of all the flowers, the atmosphere, the huge amount of people that go there. And I think it is so brilliantly organized. I think it really is a treat for anybody to go to the IPM. And the other one, of course, is the security Essen. Again, security is such an important factor in the homes today and for the future, that I think these 2 trade fairs are very, very important for our industry. But this year, it's going to be a little bit different. The first full blown. IPM is now going to happen in 2023. I believe in 2019 we had one. So it's 20, exactly. 2021, 22. So we've missed 3. So, but we're going to have a summer edition in June. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, the IPM summer edition, after 2 canceled IPMs, this was a fulfilling, we are fulfilling the industry wish to meet people in person. And we are really looking forward to this event. It's a mix of exhibition and networking meeting. And the well-known IPM Discovery Center, you know this one, will once again present fresh ideas for the point of sale. Many side events of our partners and the associations are involved. We do have them all here. And among other activities, an exclusive evening event will be the highlight in the Kuhrt Park. So we are coming together, working together with the Kuhrt Park. It's the idle time of the year. I don't think if we had something in the history in the past that we were doing something really so closely with the Kuhrt Park, but it's a lovely park, you know, maybe the Kuhrt Park.
Yes, I know, absolutely wonderful, yeah.
And therefore we would like to bring people together and use this space, and we will have a big party, and hopefully the pandemic will allow us to do so.
Okay, but if I'm a buyer of a big company, and if I'm say a buyer for Obi, and I come there, and what can I see? Can I buy anything, or will there be an Ausstellung? Will there be a display of products, or?
Yeah, it's a combination. We have a kind of showroom for all the exhibitors. I mean, it's a tough time to be for the business because there's a strong market, and June is it's a point of the year where not everybody is able to join us. So we said that we have from one hand side a showroom where you can place your items, your products, and everybody can have a look on this. And on the other hand, we have these classical booth constructions. So it's really a mixture, and it's a IPM light, I would say. And hopefully, and we have a lot of exhibitors signing in already.
Really?
So, okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, we'll be there, and we will be promoting it. And you know, we always come to the trade fair, so we will certainly be part of it. So looking forward to it. I think it's a very good idea. Keep it in. But of course, we're looking forward to January next year, along with other 55,000 people, I think, who all will be flocking to the IPM, and let's only hope we can get that. And of course, and if you could just tell a little bit about the security fair, because I think that's very interesting for our people.
Yeah. I mean, the security will be placed in September. And I'm quite sure it will continue to be the international security platform for all products and services around this industry. And we still work on a supporting congress, which will be placed at the same time. So security is, I mean, it's a 360 degrees platform for all exhibitors worldwide. You know this one as well. We have a lot it's a very international show. Show. And we had to cancel this show 2 years ago. So it's again, and it's placed every 2 years. So now it's really time to do so. And I'm so happy that we have Honeywell back here on the stage, Telenot, which is another very important exhibitor signed in. So you will find all the parts of this industry, and hopefully you, and I know that you have a strong connection to this industry as well, will join us.
Yeah, we consider the security Messe to be the trade fair to be so important that this year we're going to have a very high-powered delegation coming from all around the world of about 34 people coming as far as Japan and Peru and New Zealand and Australia, and they're all coming to Germany on a study tour, looking at the German home improvement stores. We've combined it that we would also like to come down to the security trade fair in Essen, just to say hello and to welcome, just to give them a little bit of an idea of the flair. We're going to visit other home centers in the area. So it'll be very, very nice to come along.
That's great. Thank you so much. We will be happy to have you here with your delegation, and we'll do our utmost to support you in visiting the show.
Yeah. But coming back to Messe Essen, and I remember going there. I've been going there since I think about 1985 to the IPM, and it was always a very brilliant event and very, very well managed. But it was a little bit old-fashioned, I always felt. And now when I go, I just say, wow, this is the improvements you've made to the Messe Essen has been remarkable. Can you tell us a little bit about the improvements? And you've said you've gained 10 new trade fairs, so it must have been a huge investment.
Yeah, first of all, John, we were investing a lot of money in the venue for sure. I mean, this was absolutely necessary. Right? Excuse me, please. Right now we have really a new, brand new, modern venue here, but this is just one side. I mean, in Germany we have brilliant other locations, and we have to face it that we have to do something more to attract people from all over the world to come to Essen. And therefore, I think the part of the service, that's what I call Dienstleistung, it's really, really important. So as you may know, I'm coming out of the hotel industry. I was trained by five-star hotel owners, and I was opening up five-star hotels for the Mandarin Oriental Group and the Raphael Group in my former career. And both sectors, the tourism and the fair business, have an incredible lot in common, I think. First of all, it's all about welcoming people from all over the world. Some of them are visiting for business reasons. Others just want to have a great time on a consumer event dealing with their hobby, or such as cars or fashion. So it makes no difference. It's a B2B or B2C. We have to service. I still remember the slogan of Ritz-Carlton hotels: ladies and gentlemen are serving ladies and gentlemen. And in any case, they are our guests for a short time, and it's our job to make the time a success. And then it's at the end all about service. Hotel guests and fair participants want to be treated individually and cordially, and they often have special requirements that we have to fulfill. And I try to manage this company like a five-star hotel, a very close personal contact with customers, continuous support, integration of all colleagues in the value chain of trade fair planning. And of course, for us, it is maybe much easier because of our mid-size venue. Sometimes I like to compare it to the hotel industry. The general manager of a Sheraton, maybe with 2,000 rooms, cannot provide this kind of service to all of his customers. No chance. It's another cup of coffee. It's another business. We compare ourselves more or less with a service-orientated kind of boutique hotel. And this has other standards. And therefore, and you mentioned this already, for me, it's no surprise that the Messe Essen is regularly awarded as Germany's fair company with the best service quality. We simply believe in the service on a five-star level.
Yeah, I know. I've known you so many years now, and you're to me the typically person that comes from a hotel background in the service orientated, and it comes through very, very strongly. And I think all the trade fairs, particularly in Germany, when I think of the Cologne Trade Fair or the Frankfurt Trade Fair, I think that the level of service has improved dramatically over the years.
I agree.
When I think about your international business club that you've done, what a lovely niveau to come, and how well the people feel that they're well looked after. And I think in the old days, going back to the 80s when I first started going to the trade fairs, there was hardly any service. And today it's just absolutely remarkable what you're doing. So, congratulations on that, because I think it's very, very good indeed.
Thank you.
I think basically we generally feel, and I think you mentioned it, it's starting slowly, but I think particularly in Europe, things are getting back to normal, that that from our point of view, I think we're going to get a full house coming back next year. I think particularly in January, from today's thinking anyway, I think we will all be coming back to the IPM next year. A lot of people will be coming to the Security Messe. And, you know, I've always been, ever since I was the CEO of Knabe, which you knew about for 17 years, we just loved trade fairs. We went there and we were always looking. And the key to find the right products, to go and see the range of things that are there is so remarkable. And I think trade fairs are so very, very important that this is the reason within our organization, we had these recommended trade fairs. And the IPM was the very, very first, one of the very first company to join us. And we will continue to do all we can to support them. The other major issue today, of course, is, and everybody talks about it, is sustainability. So what is the Cologne Trade Fair doing to reduce carbon footprint, to save energy, to make sure that, you know, that what you're doing, everything is sustainable?
Yeah, this is something we have in mind for sure as well. It's very important for us. What we want to do is that we said in 10 years time, we want to get rid of all CO2 emissions. So this is a hard way to go. We were just starting and try to. We have opened up here a working group working on this goal. And we are closely working together with the city of Essen to reach this. But we are going through the entire operation to see what we can do. I mean, we are having here some things done already, water covering, rainwater covering, and other items. It will take some time, but hopefully in 2030, we will reach our goal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The other thing is, we're talking today, because of the pandemic, people are talking about hybrid, and I sometimes get confused about this. So how do you see now the trade fairs in the future following Corona, on the hybrid and the opportunity of doing things digitally?
Yeah, I mean, I know that many trade fair companies in Germany spend a lot of money to invest or to place something which maybe helps to recover the situation. I have to say that we try to do our best to support our fairs by hybrid tools. Means that we support existing physical fairs and with this kind of digital support. But it's pretty hard to say that support just on a digital side replaces physically trade fairs. I don't think so. I think that we have to be faced that the digital efforts will help us, supporting us. However, our clients rightfully have high demands in supporting digital tools, and we will therefore continue to expand our variety of digital services. They help our fairs participants to prepare their visits, to network their business partners, to stay up to date with news and content. And we believe that a smart combination of live experience and digital extension is the key. We have previously heard from other trade fairs that they believe the future will be hybrid, offering not only the possibility of physically visiting trade fairs, but also digital service and formats. And this is what we agree to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I shall follow that with interest because, you know, to me, maybe it's because of my age or because I'm probably the old school, as they say, but there is no replacement for seeing the merchandise in front, for seeing the people you're going to deal with, to speak to them. And my personal opinion is that I think that these trade fairs will come back even stronger in the future.
Because
of that. Yeah.
But to be honest, I mean, I'm sitting in the board of the AUMAS, it's the German association here for the trade fairs, and I know that trade fair companies in Germany and abroad have spent really endless amounts of money on digital formats, of which only very few exist today. And we will use the digital possibilities to support our physical trade fairs, but we will not spend one more cent on digital tools that claim to replace trade fairs. This attempt has failed in the past 2 years, and you cannot make any money with it either. So our core business is having people here, let them come together, making business, supports the networking, and therefore, for sure, the digital development cannot be stopped. But for us, it's just supporting our physical fairs we have here in Essen and worldwide.
Okay, if I can share my experience in the home improvement industry, a lot of people, a lot of companies, retail companies, they've invested so much money on digital and so much money on online, and yet they're making their money in the stores and not on digital. I mean, there'll be a change, but we obviously believe that in the future it will belong to both. It'll be,
yes.
You have to be digital, but you have to also have the present. But I still think that what you're doing to have a real, in Germany you say a Erlebnis, an exciting thing to go to see people, to get the smell, the touch, the feel of a trade fair, that is going to be very, very important in the future.
And you see that it's a pretty high pressure from the outside, trying to get another slot here on our capacity, being back here, have meetings, sitting together. So it's not like we still have these feelings that people don't think it's too dangerous to come together again. They are more and more open now, and I think for sure it will take some time to be back 100%, but we do it step by step, and maybe it takes two years more to have the same situation as we had before the pandemic.
Yeah, well, I've had the 4 jabs now, so I feel very safe, and I go everywhere, do everything, and I haven't had COVID yet. And I really feel, and I'm in the danger group, so they say. So we'll have to. You're
boosted, and
I've had my booster. I've had my double booster, so I've had now 4 jabs, and I feel as safe as anything. So let's only hope. But it has changed the world, and I think we're all screaming to get back together again. To meet people, to physically see people. And I find that I've been a little bit negligent lately, but I'm okay. Yeah. So talking about, you said you had 10 new trade fairs. And so I believe, as I said, that trade fairs are so very important. But one I saw is eWorld of Energy and Water. And I thought that sounds very, very good. What is it? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it is. I think the story, I don't know when they start, maybe 20 or 30 years ago. I'm supposed to know it, but I don't know it exactly. But it's really a strong leading fair. You know that the energy market is concentrated here in Essen in Germany. It's really the main capital, the capital of the energy industry is located here in the Ruhrmetropole Essen. We have them all, the big ones, E.ON, Evonik, you name it. And it gets more and more international. We were starting with a German format, and now it's I would say it's a leading European energy fair. For sure in Asia, they do have other energy systems, so it not really fits together. So we will never be having here millions of Chinese or Japanese people walking around, but it's really a very strong show. Unfortunately, we had to cancel this annual show twice already, but now we moved it to June, and this is a perfect time slot. Maybe, and this is what you can see in the trade fair business right now, that the dates of the shows are moving more or less in the middle of the year from
we saw that
winter period, and then they keep there, and then they stay there. This is a problem for all of us in Germany right now. But we will see. We had a strong discussion here due to the, unfortunately, to the situation in the Ukraine, because in this show, in the eWorld, we have Russian exhibitors and Belarusian.
Yeah, of course. They've all gone, like our members. Yeah.
Gazprom, this one. And this was really a problem for us. And so we decided very early that to exclude Russian and Belarusian participants from the e-world. Unfortunately, we had to do so, but I think it's the right decision.
Yeah, we haven't discussed that at board level yet, but I can't see Russian members coming back to join us anymore. And quite frankly, I will never go to Russia again. I don't want to go to Russia. Maybe when Putin's gone out there, but I want nothing to do with that country whatsoever. But anyway, we mustn't be political.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is, of course, the Japanese are coming. I told you they're coming to our global summit. They normally come with about 65 people. They're coming with 30 this year. And the thing about the COVID test, will there be a COVID test? So if I'm coming now to one of these 4 trade fairs you've just had, do I have to have a COVID test?
No.
Okay.
No. We are all open. So there's no restriction by our own shows, for sure. The security is our own show. The eWorld is our own show. Sometimes other organizers are deciding different, but for our own shows, we don't need a COVID test.
Okay, so if I come from, say, Japan and I want to have a test, can you help me? Can your people help me where to get a test?
Sure. We will offer here a service directly located in front of the main entrance. And whenever you are in need of and you need a COVID test, or you want to make sure maybe that you're free of COVID, we assist you and offering this service.
Really? So there's going to be a test center at the front of the IPM? In front of the trade fair.
Yeah. Last time we tried to do it in the Krugerhalle, which is just next to the main entrance. So it's just 2 minutes walk.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We have a question from Rainer Sternhardt. He's the editor of the DIY International, which has got a global coverage. And he said, a question concerning the IPM Summer Edition. Are the target group customers as well as exhibitors? Are the target groups visitors as well as exhibitors? The same for IPM in January and IPM Summer Edition.
Yes.
Are there this? Yeah.
Yes. We are attracting the same group of people, and what we can see right now, we will have them here anyway. So maybe not the same amount of people, but it will be the light version of the IPM.
Okay, because I know I read, I think 54,000 visitors come to the IPM, a lot of visitors, and you have about 1,400 exhibitors. There probably, there won't be as many then probably.
Yeah, it's not comparable, but maybe I'm not quite sure, but I think I have heard that we got about 300 exhibitors so far, and or 350, I'm not quite sure. But it's you have to see that it's in the middle of summer. It's a totally different period of time, and I do think that the mix of congress and of exhibition makes it, and then we have this highlight show in the Kruger Park. So I would be more than happy to invite everybody to come to Essen and coming together for this network party.
Yeah, no, I think it keeps the brand alive as well, and so I think
absolutely this was one of our sales. Yeah, otherwise we would have the IPM 3 years in a row not on the market. So this was an idea,
indeed,
to keep it up and to make sure that everybody knows what IPM is.
Of course. I think we've got another question here. Is this? Yeah. So this has come. Here's another question, or a lot of it. Many trade fairs now offer mobile apps alongside their trade fairs. Will the Messe Essen be doing this also? Will you be having an app?
Absolutely, we will do this, and this will be presented very, very soon. You will have a description how it works and what but we will offer it like we do it for all other world-leading fairs we have here in Essen.
Yeah. I think it's really quite standard now that people.
Yeah, it is standard.
And the contact that they have with the other people. Okay, right. I think we're almost coming through. I think we've got the main questions that we've talked to you about. Just any other trade fairs of any interest for our industry that's coming along, do you think? We've got the 2 now, which are the main ones.
Yeah, right now we are really concentrating on IPM and security. yeah, all the other shows this year at least are totally different industries. But maybe we see what happens. Maybe we come up with a spin-off of one of our product groups within the IPM, but this is something we are still thinking of. Yeah, I will let you know first.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But I think I think in Germany we call Alleinstellung, you're so strong on that. And Alleinstellung, you don't have any competitors on that at all. So another question from Rainer Sternhardt. Pandemics and wars are not the best conditions for developing fairs on an international level. How does Messe Essen cope with these challenges in its long-term strategy?
Yeah, good question. First of all, we hope that the war, which is really something which hits us seriously, it's unbelievable what happens over there. It's the television makes me crazy, but it's we have to face it somehow. But as I said in the very beginning, I think, and this is good for all trade fair companies in Germany, we have to stay in a very close contact during these days with our clients. This was so helpful that we did not close the doors here and came up 2 years later. So we were really in a frequent close contact with our friends out there and discussing things. Now, as I said, we have here 10 new trade fairs in Essen within the next months. This is a result of this relationship that we were talking about. The European Taxi Messe, which is something you maybe don't have in mind, or the Cable Car World, which is a brand new show, or Altenpflege. So the business is going on outwards. We don't have to forget that it's a very dynamic, lively market, and that we are part of it, and we cannot close the doors and get sleep. So we have to work out there. And combined with a new modern venue and a service approach, we can make it. And I think everybody, no matter if it's Munich or Hanover or wherever we do have other trade fair locations, are doing the same way. They try to keep on the business and stay in contact with the market. And then I'm quite sure that we have a successful development within the next years.
Indeed, following the trends and seeing what comes along, and probably in 10 years there'll be trade fairs that now we've never even heard of, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. We've got one, quite a long question here. Somebody wrote, I haven't got the name, I have been most impressed with the upgrades and changes you have made to the Messe Essen halls and facilities in recent years, with projects to make your halls the most technically modern exhibition centers in Germany. Somebody certainly a fan of the Messe Essen here. This project finished in 2019. How did this help in your response to the last 2 years? And what can trade fair visitors expect from these developments upon their next visit to the Messe Essen?
Yes. Yeah, thank you, first of all, for this comment. I can say if we would not have invested this money, we would lose another fair here. As you may know, I was starting my business here in 2014. It was a quite critical situation. We lost the FIBU to Cologne. We lost the ALU to Düsseldorf. And the venue, the structures, the architecture was a disaster. And without this investment, we would never made it like this. So this is the basic conception to come up with new business. Without this new venue, we would never made it. But now, and we have always to see that we have shareholders who expect to have success over here, to say they are very happy with the development. And I do think when there's just one little part on our venue, it's the entrance south, which is still from the old times, the good old times. And we are trying to find a solution how we can come up with new building construction over there as well. So maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, we will finish and complete this venue, and then we are all brand new here, and people can be happy to see that as well.
Okay. How do you project that as a CEO of a trade fair? For example, if I'm going to do a huge improvement in my retail store, I say, I'm going to invest so much money and I'm going to get more customers coming. Yeah. Or I'm going to do, instead of doing 100 turnover, I'm going to do 120. When you do your improvements, are you expecting more people to come, or are you just making it sure that you are really keeping those customers that you've already got happy? Or do you expect more customers?
I mean, one argument was, if we do not invest money, we will have no more visitors. Yes, this is the situation. So this was the investment to keep, first of all, to keep our customers here loyal to Essen. But we see that it was a brilliant step. And when we are thinking of modernizing our entrance south, this doesn't mean that we are investing money. What we're trying to do right now is saying, okay, we take this part of the venue, we give it to somebody else. And he is coming up with an office tower. And he can use the office tower by itself, but he has to build up and create our new entrance. So we are giving them the part of the venue. He is investing the money for the entrance, and he can use the office tower for his own purpose. So this is, sometimes you don't not really have to invest your own money. Maybe it's a crown, but not giving out cash for this part of the venues modernization.
Okay. The last question here was, now that this conversion period is complete, what are your projects and projections for the future of Messe Essen?
Yeah. What we would like to do is, even if we are not as bad, optimizing our service. We still have a lot of things to do. We would like to offer our exhibitors and our visitors our service from the very beginning of their decision to come to Essen, starting with the travel experience, with the planning of the travel, everything from one hand, one face to the customer for all parts of this travel chain, to make sure that they are doing the right decision when they are flying here, taking the right hotel, taking the right decision for the transfer, for the transport, everything. We would like to escort them along this chain of services. And I do think that this close partnership and this close contact to the customer helps us to keep these clients here in Essen. And I mean, this is the only difference we can make. As I said, many other locations in Germany have brilliant, nice venues, modern venues. Everybody, you know that in Germany, all trade fair companies are investing a lot of money to keep them up to date. So we have to do it, and all the others are doing it as well. So the only chance to make a difference is to know the people better, to give them brilliant service, and to try to get deep into the industry, that we know how it works. I mean, making a security does mean not just to open the doors and having a brand name in front of the building saying, so we have to know what is going on in this business, what are the new developments, how can we help Honeywell or other companies to make sure that their investment here in Essen for their exhibition works well and is successful. And therefore, you have to get the right people here in the Messe Essen as a company, and you have to keep them. As you said at the very beginning, it's easy to keep good guys here in your company and to make sure that we are doing well.
Yeah, well, what I would like to say, Oliver, and very, very sincerely, that I know that myself as a visitor to the Messe Essen, that during the period that you've been there, I enjoyed going before. I thought it was a brilliant trade fair. And I know while you've been there, the service, the niveau, the standard, the finesse has improved considerably. And I really, in German, we say, ich fühle mich sehr wohl. I feel very comfortable and I feel very happy when I'm going to the Messe Essen. And I think you've got a brilliant, motivated team, and it's a pleasure to come. So really, I think the facet of this interview has really been that the trade fairs are going to come back. It may not be overnight, but I think we're going to see increasingly more. I think the the need now, because of the pandemic, that people are thinking more of their home. I think the garden sector is going to profit even more in the future. I think these trade fairs are becoming more important for the future. And I think it looks quite exciting. So, but we always have with our visitor, our guest, the last word. Is there anything you would like to say to the audience who will be following you and be streaming you in their hundreds, hopefully afterwards?
Yeah, thank you first of all for the opportunity to be part of this CEO talk today. It was my pleasure, and I would like to invite everybody, having seen our conversation today, to come to Essen, no matter if it's the IPM or the security or other leading trade shows we have. It's so good to be back, to having these platforms to talk to each other in person. It's such a different. I mean, I like to speak with you now here on a digital point, but it is something different sitting together in your or my office and having a cup of coffee or something else together. So I hope I see all of you very soon, maybe in June at the IPM summer edition. And yeah, I wish you all the best. Let's cross the fingers that the things we have nowadays, like the war, which is absolutely critical, that we can stop this soon and stay healthy.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you physically in Essen. We will definitely be there. I'll be coming with Oliver, my communications manager, so we'll be definitely coming along. So thank you again for the interview. It's been a huge pleasure, and as we've known each other for many, many years, I felt very relaxed. So thank you very much indeed, and I wish you a very good day and continued success. Thank you very much.
See you in Copenhagen. Thank you so much.
Yes, so before we go, I would just like to tell all those people viewing about the Global DIY Summit. As I mentioned earlier, we're expecting over 900 people to attend this event. It really is going to be quite a venue, and we look forward and hope you'll be joining us there. So until then, this is the last interview in the series, Meet the CEOs, before the trade fair, but by request, I hope we will be continuing after the Global DIY Summit. So from here in the World Headquarters in Cologne, thank you for following us, and I look forward to seeing you in Copenhagen from the 8th to the 10th of June. Thank you very much indeed, and goodbye.